Cigarette: the 13 worst female smokers in classic Hollywood history. Disclaimer: worst here refers to the intensity of their smoking habits and the eventual health consequences, not their talent or contributions to film. Many of these women were icons, but also victims of an industry that glorified smoking. Bette Davis, a smoking icon with a price. Bette Davis, legendary star of All About Eve and Jezebel, was as famous for her fierce performances as for her ever-present cigarette. Smoking up to 100 cigarettes a day, Davis's voice became her trademark, raspy, commanding, and unforgettable. But the habit that added to her mystique also took a heavy toll. Chain smoking for decades contributed to chronic health issues, including multiple strokes later in life. In an era when cigarettes were seen as glamorous, Davis embraced the image fully, both on and off screen. Her addiction to nicotine wasn't just personal, it was a product of a Hollywood system that encouraged and even required stars to smoke for aesthetic effect. While she remains one of the greatest actresses of all time, her life is also a cautionary tale about the hidden costs of stardom and the cultural pressures that once made smoking seem like a ticket to sophistication. Joan Crawford, a star cloaked in smoke. Joan Crawford, the Oscar-winning actress known for Mildred Pierce and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, was a symbol of ambition, glamour, and intensity. Off-screen, however, Crawford was a lifelong heavy smoker. Rarely seen without a cigarette, her smoking was part of her fierce, polished image, reinforced by Hollywood's mid-century obsession with cigarettes as symbols of power and poise. But over time, the habit left its mark. Crawford's appearance aged rapidly in her later years, and her once crisp voice grew hoarse. Though she maintained her image with relentless control, her health deteriorated. She died of a heart attack at 73, with smoking almost certainly contributing to her decline. In many ways, Crawford's life represents the darker side of the old studio system, one that often prioritized image over well-being. Her legacy remains powerful, but her story also reflects the real costs behind the silver screen glamour. Barbara Stanwyck, a legendary actress of Hollywood's golden age, began smoking when she was just 9 years old. Known for her tough, no-nonsense persona both on and off-screen, Stanwyck maintained a heavy smoking habit throughout her life. Cigarettes were part of her image, often seen in films as an accessory that amplified her cool, independent characters. However, the long-term consequences of smoking caught up with her in later years. She developed chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, and congestive heart failure, conditions commonly linked to prolonged tobacco use. Despite her enduring legacy as one of the greatest actresses of her time, her story serves as a stark reminder of the health risks associated with smoking, especially during an era when its dangers weren't widely acknowledged. Stanwyck passed away in 1990 at the age of 82. Her life illustrates both the glamorized image of smoking in classic Hollywood and the hidden toll it often took on its brightest stars. Tallulah Bankhead was one of classic Hollywood's most flamboyant and controversial figures, known as much for her sharp wit and husky voice as for her intense smoking habit. A true iconoclast, Bankhead reportedly smoked up to 120 cigarettes a day, making her one of the heaviest female smokers in entertainment history. Her addiction was no secret, in fact, it was part of her public persona. Whether on stage, in films, or at social events, a cigarette was almost always in hand, reinforcing her rebellious image and challenging the conservative social norms of her era. Bankhead's lifestyle, marked by excess, defiance, and theatrical flair, was both admired and criticized. Smoking gave her a distinct voice and a kind of devil-may-care sophistication that audiences remembered. But the toll on her health was undeniable. Her voice deepened further, and she eventually suffered from emphysema and pneumonia, conditions worsened by decades of smoking. She died in 1968 at the age of 66. Though her legacy remains unforgettable, Bankhead's story also highlights the dangers of glamorizing smoking during Hollywood's golden years. Marlene Dietrich, one of the most iconic actresses of classic Hollywood, expertly crafted a public image that intertwined glamour, mystery, and cigarettes. Known for her sultry voice, androgynous style, and magnetic screen presence, Dietrich frequently used smoking as a powerful visual tool. Whether in films or in publicity photos, she was often pictured holding a cigarette with elegance and confidence, reinforcing her persona as the epitome of sophistication and independence. Her habit wasn't just an act. Off-screen, Dietrich was a lifelong smoker. Smoking became so closely associated with her image that it helped define the femme fatale archetype in cinema. However, the long-term effects of her addiction were no less severe. Like many stars of her time, she suffered from the health consequences of decades of heavy smoking. Dietrich eventually withdrew from public life, and although she lived to be 90, her later years were marked by frailty and health complications. Her story is a testament to the allure that smoking once held in Hollywood, and the steep price many paid for making it part of their identity. Vivien Leigh, best known for her unforgettable portrayal of Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind, was not only a brilliant actress but also a heavy smoker. During the filming of that legendary role, Leigh reportedly smoked up to 4 packs of cigarettes a day. While her elegant on-screen presence captivated audiences, behind the scenes she struggled with both physical and emotional pressures, including bipolar disorder and the demands of fame. Smoking became a coping mechanism for her, offering momentary relief amid the chaos of her personal and professional life. Leigh's reliance on cigarettes was emblematic of the era, when smoking was not only socially acceptable but often glamorized, especially for actresses. Sadly, the health consequences eventually caught up with her. She developed chronic tuberculosis, a condition that was aggravated by years of smoking. Leigh died in 1967 at the young age of 53. Despite her tragic end, she remains one of classic Hollywood's most iconic figures. Her story reflects both the glamour and the hidden costs of stardom in an age when smoking was seen as stylish rather than dangerous. Lucille Ball, the beloved star of I Love Lucy, was not only a comedic genius but also a lifelong smoker. Despite her vibrant on-screen persona and iconic red hair, Ball struggled with a heavy smoking habit that spanned more than 6 decades. Behind the scenes, she was rarely without a cigarette, even during rehearsals and meetings. During the 1950s, when cigarette smoking was still considered fashionable and even glamorous, Ball's habit went largely unnoticed by the public, but it was well known within the industry. Ball reportedly smoked up to 2 packs a day, a habit that eventually took a toll on her health. In her later years, she suffered from serious heart and lung problems, including the need for heart surgery in the 1980s. Though she lived to the age of 77, passing away in 1989, her declining health was linked in part to her lifelong smoking. Lucille Ball remains a towering figure in television history, but her story is also a reminder of how normalized smoking was in Hollywood, and how even the brightest stars weren't immune to its consequences. Monica Barbaro, a rising star in Hollywood, gained widespread attention for her role as LT. Natasha Phoenix Trace in Top Gun, Maverick, 2022, where she impressed audiences with her charisma and screen presence. Her performance in the high-octane blockbuster not only showcased her ability to hold her own alongside A-list actors like Tom Cruise but also marked her as a talent to watch. Now, Barbaro is poised to take a major leap forward with a starring role in an upcoming musical biopic directed by James Mangold, in which she will portray legendary folk singer and activist Joan Baez. This role is generating significant early buzz, with critics and insiders already whispering about potential awards recognition. Taking on such an iconic figure demands both vocal skill and emotional depth, qualities Barbaro has been honing throughout her evolving career. With Mangold at the helm, known for directing powerful biographical films like Walk the Line, the project could be a breakthrough moment for her. As she steps into Baez's shoes, Monica Barbaro stands at the cusp of stardom, ready to cement her place as one of the most promising actors of her generation. Mikey Madison is quickly emerging as one of Hollywood's most exciting young talents. Best known for her intense and memorable role as Sadie in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 2019, Madison has steadily built a reputation for portraying emotionally complex characters with a raw, authentic edge. In 2024, she took a major leap forward by starring in Sean Baker's acclaimed film Honora, which went on to win the prestigious Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. Her performance in Honora was widely praised by critics, with many calling it the emotional core of the film. Madison's ability to portray vulnerability and strength in equal measure captured audiences and solidified her status as a serious dramatic actress. The win at Cannes not only marked a milestone for the film but also positioned Madison as a breakout star on the international stage. With her growing body of work and the critical acclaim surrounding Honora, Mikey Madison is being hailed as a rising force in independent and mainstream cinema alike, poised to take on even more prominent, challenging roles in the years to come. Sophie Wilde is quickly making a name for herself in Hollywood, thanks to her standout performance in the 2023 horror thriller Talk to Me. In the film, Wilde's portrayal of a young woman grappling with dark forces was both chilling and emotionally nuanced, drawing praise from critics and audiences alike. Her ability to convey vulnerability and strength in such a tense and atmospheric setting marked her as a versatile and dynamic actress on the rise. Building on the momentum from her breakout role, Wilde is set to star alongside Tom Cruise in Alejandro G. Inarritu's upcoming project, which is already generating significant buzz. Inarritu, known for his acclaimed films like Birdman and The Revenant, is expected to bring out a new dimension of Wilde's talent, offering her the opportunity to shine in a major Hollywood production. Her casting in this project solidifies her growing status in the industry, and she is expected to take on more high-profile roles in the future. With her compelling performances and increasing visibility, Sophie Wilde is poised for an exciting and successful career. Fina Straza is a rising talent in both theater and film, known for her compelling performances on Broadway and her recent role in Paper Girls, the popular Amazon Prime series based on the graphic novel. Straza's ability to bring depth and authenticity to her characters has made her a standout in the entertainment industry. Her theatrical roots are evident in her ability to command the screen, whether performing on stage or in front of the camera. Her upcoming role in Netflix's Fear Street, Prom Queen is expected to further elevate her career. In this highly anticipated installment of the Fear Street horror franchise, Straza will lead the cast, showcasing her versatility as an actress. The role will offer her the opportunity to explore a more intense, dramatic side of her craft, pushing her beyond her previous work in a way that will surely resonate with audiences. With her strong presence and impressive range, Fina Straza is a young actress to watch as she continues to build her career and tackle diverse, challenging roles in both film and television. Vivian Lyra Blair is quickly emerging as one of Hollywood's most promising young actresses. She first captured audiences' hearts with her breakout role as the fierce and resourceful girl in the Netflix thriller Bird Box, 2018, starring alongside Sandra Bullock. Her natural talent and screen presence were immediately evident, making her a standout even among seasoned performers. In 2022, Blair took on the iconic role of young Princess Leia Organa in Disney Plus' Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Her portrayal was widely praised for capturing Leia's intelligence, courage, and charm, qualities essential to the beloved Star Wars character. Blair's ability to embody such a legendary role at a young age showcased her remarkable maturity and range as an actress. Since then, Vivian Lyra Blair has continued to choose roles that highlight her versatility and emotional depth. With a growing list of credits in both film and television, she is proving herself as more than just a child star. She's an actress with staying power. As she matures, Blair is expected to take on increasingly complex and high-profile roles, solidifying her place among Hollywood's next generation of leading talent.